This could apply to any context of relationships. Your relationship to society, your relationship to an institution, a company, particular person or persons, a marriage, family, all of the above. This applies. But I want you to listen closely, and I want you to reflect as you listen so we can have a meditative insight as this full moon comes in, huh? All right, let's look it over. All right, I want to start by asking you this question. And nobody's in the room but me and you. Is there a master in your life, or has there been a master in your life? It's somebody that you might have taken for granted at work, in the community, at home, your family, marriage, friendship, association. Somehow, have you been connected to somebody who has light while you don't have light? Who has gifts that transfer spiritual power while you don't have that? Were you trying to learn from that master? Did you allow it to inspire you? Or did it cause you to envy instead? Did you allow it to motivate you? Or did you underestimate the reason why they were assigned to you? Yeah, you heard me right. Assigned to you. Did you underestimate why that light worker or why that person of light was assigned to you? And don't act like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, because you do. That same person who, if they were suddenly removed from your life, it would get dark. If their gifts no longer transferred to you, you'd be a ship in the middle of the ocean with waves 30, 60, 100 feet high, slamming your ass down, up and down as the storms move in. The comforters. People who bring comfort every time. People who bring warmth every time. People who restore confidence every time. People who bring encouragement every time. Because they are there, you feel like you're okay. Because they are there, you feel like you're safe. Because they are there, you feel like you're a better person. Because they are there, your conscience always illuminates and reminds you. Because they are there, you believe it's going to be okay. Do you take these people for granted? Did you start at some point to assume that you were entitled to the masters that God sent into your life? Was it your arrogance that caused you to underestimate who they could have been to you? But you had a personal idea of who they could have been to you. But the reason they were sent to you wasn't from a personal idea of yours. It was from perfect design and wisdom of this universe. But you won't admit because your pride won't let you. Since I was 14 years old, I've been blessed enough to realize when a master is in my midst. And I will always run the thought in my head, what would happen if I lost my teacher? What would happen if I no longer had access to my teacher? What would happen if I lost the trust of my teacher? Let me be on my best behavior. Let me show them that I really did read the books that they keep giving me. Let me show them that I'm retaining the information and I'm reciting, I'm memorizing, I'm eager to learn. Let me show them that I'm interested even though I'm tired, I don't feel like it. I could pull on discipline for days that I'm not motivated. I could pull on discipline for days that I'm not inspired. But respect must be respect, even in days when I don't feel like I could generate the respect, because I realize the value of the masters that God blessed me with in my life. And I've had many masters enter my life to teach me. And every one of my teachers, I praised them. I was thankful for them. And I longed to be like them. I longed to retain everything that was in the head and the heart. And I knew it would be arrogant of me to ever lose sight of the fact that they were assigned by God, not by me. And because God assigned them, I must never lose reverence for the wounds that bore me. This could be something that's missing in this generation. I came from that generation where it was clear and understood that some people are masters and some are not. When a master is in your midst, you are so lucky, you are so blessed, you are so fortunate. Because wisdom is something that only can be lived through. You have to suffer to have a jewel of wisdom. And when you understand that, you can't flip through a book. You can't watch a movie. You can't Google. You can't walk to the library, ride a bicycle, train, or car in order to go through the Dewey Decimal System and reference books, strolled all over the place, taking notes, Xerox machine. Y'all remember those days? I came from those laboring days of spiritual knowledge, consciousness, metaphysics, religion, so on and so forth. I came from those labors. But one thing I understood is wisdom from the mouth of a master is something different. My questions would never end. My questions would never stop. My curiosity could never end. My curiosity could never stop. And that was a reflection of my gratitude for the presence in my life. Appreciating light when I understood that the light was not from me, but the light was there to bless me. We don't understand this way anymore in this day and time. So it takes for us to lose access to realize that value in hindsight. And what a sad story. What a sad story. Hindsight carries so much pain when it's value that you're looking at, when it's a blessing that you're looking at that got away from you. Don't be that one. This happened a lot, especially, for example, with fathers in the black community. There were generations of smear campaigns, propaganda, lies about the men in our community. Not that all of them were angels, but some of them were the difference between whether or not the family would even stay together. Whether or not cousins and nephews and nieces and brothers and sisters would know each other all their life or not. Whether or not people would have confidence, self-esteem, be able to look somebody in the eye, show accountability, discipline, and character, perseverance. Whether or not they would take confidence in their gifts and talents and bring them forward to be refined. Now, why am I referencing fathers? Because the son in the natal birth chart represents the father, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? And already you on a tangent. Clutching my pearls. He's going into feminism again. Sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up with that. Because it's time to grow up. And it's relevant. Sun in Leo. This is moon in Leo. And there's things that we have to learn to appreciate. This discourse is not about fathers, but I'm going to make sure I lead with that point. Is that we're about to realize the value of fathers. Somehow, some way, it's going to be realized. Fathers, when that son is in a detrimental position in a natal birth chart, the difference of the father's presence or relation to that child, it left them disconnected from their light and their gifts and the confidence to deliver it. What's similar about this for all of us? The very ones you don't appreciate, the very ones you underestimate, the very ones you count out, the very ones you put on the scale and you give an unjust measure, the ones you have access to every single day, the one who you could conveniently reach over, pick up the phone, drive up and pull up, say, hey, neighbor, say, hey, honey. These are the ones who we overlook the most. We take for granted because you have access. You take for granted the fact that you have access. A stranger is more likely to appreciate a person's light than their own blood. That complacency kicks in when you have too much access and too much time to lose sight of who the fuck is in your midst. This Leo full moon has some people who have not been properly valued, appreciated, and honored and reverenced, to have them to realize, hold up, this room is lit up, but it ain't coming from them. The light is coming from me. But everybody's so relaxed, so assuming of this access, that the thought never occurred to them, what if the one who's illuminating the room leaves out that motherfucker? What are you gonna do? Did anybody bother to figure out how to illuminate themselves? What a tragedy. What a motherfucking tragedy. I know you thought it was over with the explanations. Leo, full moon, transit, you heard? There's another side to this. There's another side to this. Leo, full moon, transit. All right, listen up. Listen up. What I first explained, this really applies to those who are headed to a dark earth. And dark doesn't mean doom. It doesn't mean destruction. It's a karmic school. It's a karmic lesson. That school includes how to generate your own light, how to activate your talents, and all from authenticity. All from authenticity. I'm not describing punishment. I'm not describing wrath because I'm in no position to say such. It's not my place. But it is for me to say, you know who you are. If you haven't, been operating from authentic place in the self. You also know who you are if you thought you had time, because somebody else's light was available to you. Somebody else's gifts were available to you. This also applies if you're the one who sat right there and watched somebody else redirect the sexual energy through Vesta and subject it to creativity, self-devotion, piety, self-love, while your sexual energy was being used to exploit yourself through Venus and Pisces. The context of Pisces carries escapism, running away, indulging in addictions, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, all of the enes, indulging. And you know this comes in many forms, not just the crack rock. It comes in many forms. Whatever triggers those things, instead of finding out what are you really looking for. A split is about to take place. It's a split. There's a small number of those out there who have served in the community, in the family, in the relationship, even in society, as a source of light authentically, and they were taken for granted. There are those who served as the source of gifts, talents, and skills, that they went through hell, pains, misfortunes, trials, downfalls, heartaches, traumas, in order to cultivate it, in order to realize it, in order to refine it, and make it available to you. But you took it for granted. They were taken for granted. Don't you know this is the time portal of the underdogs? But you didn't believe it. You thought there was time. Underdogs are up. It's the underdogs who are the authentic. It's the underdogs who are free. It's the underdogs who are real. And those are the ones who get to stand in the light of Leo fully. Leo light is not like other lights. That Leo light doesn't need a Louis Vuitton. It don't need a Gucci. It doesn't even need gold, its own element. It doesn't need anybody or anything to validate it. It doesn't need approval. Marketing schemes, filters, fancy cameras. It don't need none of that. Leo light shines from source. You can't put that light out. You can't stop it. And this is why the jealousy, the envy, and attempts at control is always directed at Leo light. Let me explain something to you. Some of you have been watching somebody struggle, go through hell and war to become pious, to improve themselves, to dig deeper for the spiritual meaning in life and how they could align with it. Reaching for the love in their self that nobody ever taught them to find. Fasting, reading books, teaching, healing, learning new ways of how they could part ways from things that are not good for them. Learning new ways that they could heal themselves or possibly make room to heal somebody else. Every time they show up, the warmth comes and everybody feels it. Every time they show up, people use them to see how real am I, because that person is real, but they won't admit it. Secret admirers, watchers, hiding behind walls and shadows and mountains, hills and trees, but never revealing themselves. The intimidation is real. There's about to be a split with this Leo full moon, where certain people who assume entitlement over the light of others, entitlement over the estate of others, entitlement over the gifts of others that came from spiritual struggle that they cultivated out of themselves. And you won't have access to it anymore. You will look in hindsight and you will say, how did I blow that? How did I ruin that? The exposures are going to come back to back to back to back. You had all this time and you were watching this person collecting gold pebbles and nuggets out of the river, and you didn't want to do it. You were watching this person go to the ladle and pour what they had into the ladle in order to separate the gold from the impurities. You didn't want to do it. They were over there burning their fingertips, inhaling all kind of smoke, sweating at the forehead. You didn't want to do it. You had other things to do. And now that this full moon comes, there's a refined gold nugget. The sunlight shines on it and it blinds you how beautiful and polished the finish is. A finished product. Here's what's dangerous. What happens if this full moon illuminates that person's realization of the fact that something with them or something about them should be reappraised? And your assumptions of their value is no longer valid. You're in a bind, Nate. You're in a bind, Nate. Because now, freedom is there. Freedom is present. Somebody realizes that they are the executor of state, the executor of the trust. Somebody realizes that the estate that is with them is their own being and presence because they refined it in spiritual discipline. Somebody realizes that the gifts and talents that they have is the estate. And they're the executor. And you're just freeloading in the trust. Now the eye is on you. You were here all of this time and you didn't learn. You were watching me all these years and you didn't learn. You were a disciple walking with Jesus and you know nothing that he taught and spoke. How? How did you walk with the master, but you have not embodied his wisdom? How did the master demonstrate around you, to you, giving you access unto himself? but yet you're still spiritually dead, corrupt, in despair, depression, drunkenness. Lust is controlling and ruling you. Deep ignorance, anger, traumas, drama. You're a problem. How did that happen? And a master was in your midst. You thought you had time. And such persons, it's your turn to learn to generate your own light, because it's time you become authentic. You won't use somebody else's light. You won't use somebody else's gift. You thought because somebody else does it so well, does it so easily, they didn't have to struggle to develop such mastery to where you, in your ignorant opinion, says, oh, they could do this all day over and over again. They're good at it. And I love being the beneficiary of their gifts. Nigga, where the fuck is your gift at, nigga? Where the fuck your shit at? Where the fuck is your light at, nigga? Why ain't you got no light? Why don't you know what your gift is? Tell me that. What were you sent here in earth to do for the people? Why don't you know? Why don't you know who you are? What the fuck was you doing with your time? Huh? You had what? Work? What were you doing with your time, nigga? Now you're out of luck. You're out of gas. Many of you are going to lose access to masters. Don't you know this is what this full moon is signifying? That those around the masters who are not appreciative of the masters, they will lose access to those masters. When has the infamous made a prediction and it has not come to pass? You will see. You will see. You're bullshitting. You're fucking off. Now some of you are fucked. Because mark my words, exposure is coming. That stellium in Aquarius, that's a whole bunch of different people that's going to be exposed for bullshit. Because the shadow side of Aquarius is to borrow without authorization. Intellectual property, spiritual property. That's the shadow aspect of Aquarius. And that full moon light in Leo is a master that realizes I have finally been refined and I'm ready for the market. The number 9 South Node Virgo process, I have submitted to it my sexual energy. And through the shadow works of Scorpio, and by the transit of Vesta, I have finally arrived at polished gold, a cut diamond. And I'm headed for the New York Diamond District with all my value. And your ashy ass foot is going to be sitting right here, bewildered, wondering what the fuck happened. And that's what your ass get. Because you've been bullshitting, nigga. This moon says I will not be taken for granted anymore. This full moon says my light is my light, and no one has right to assume entitlement to shares in my light. It's my estate. It says my gifts are my gifts. And great struggles are behind me refining and producing and perfecting my gifts. Who are you to assume a price, but you don't know the value because you don't know the struggle behind it? How can you appreciate a gifted person if you never struggled to refine your gifts? How can you appreciate a person who is illuminated if you've done nothing to bring out your own light? You're a freeloader, a taker, entitled, a sumptuous of the value of others, the productivity of others in spirit. And this is where those same ones understand and realize finally that value in the material will never save you. It won't help you. You could gain all the material you want. If your spirit ain't right, that same material or money will only be the means by which you crush and destroy yourself because something ain't right inside. This Leo full moon, it ends the legacy of motherfuckers hiding other niggas' light. This is a repossession of Leo authentic light. Everybody loves the benefit from this glorious light, benefit from these gifts. Yeah, you love to be the beneficiary. Sit close to it. Have proximity. Some of you don't know that you enjoy good luck and good fortune because that person is in proximation to you. Some of you were saved from death, doom, and destruction because you're connected to that person. Some of you are stabilized in the heart, in the soul, in the mind because of the presence of that person. But you will be shocked to believe that if you lose access to that person, your world will start coming down. You ungrateful bastard. Ungrateful savage. There's going to be a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth, a lot of tears and regret as people realize that they were gold all along. Even though others were trying to tell them that they were a piece of tin, a rock, a lump of coal. This moon is showing them from the internal view that they are indeed gold, diamond, silver, and all of the above. And you are nothing but swine consuming. You are nothing but swine by which pearl was cast before you. And you comprehended it not. Oh, it's going to be regretful. This is not a message of doom and destruction. It's a warning and an explanation at the same time at what's getting ready to happen to some of y'all motherfuckers. Some of you people out there are about to lose access and proximation or proximity to the luck, the good fortune, and the blessing that was holding your dusty ass together all this time. And you will have no choice but to admit it. Because when they move away, step aside, close shop, leave that job, leave that institution, move away from that family, get out of that relationship. Oh, the dogs are coming. The curses are coming. The misfortunes are coming because karma is coming, and karma is a teacher. And you created the classroom with your own hands informed by your desires uncontrolled. And you will learn, and you will learn very well. There will be two worlds, one world illuminated with light, the same ones everybody laughed at, talked shit about, took advantage of, dogged them out. The same one who they put a crown of thorns on their head and mocked at them as kings or queens. You remember the story? The Cinderellas, the Josephs in the wells. Come on. They're illuminated. Look at them. Beautiful. Illuminated. They found their light from the same thing that you thought would destroy them. The same thing that you thought would keep them in the grasp of your control. The same thing that you thought you could assume entitlement and access to. But what a lazy writer. There are so many valuable souls who can make the mistake of thinking that the lack of feedback, nurturing, support, care, love around them, that it speaks to their worth, and it doesn't. No one is a prophet in his own hometown. Understand that. No one is a prophet in his own hometown because nobody comprehends him. God's investments will never be wasted. Never. What it took to produce a master, and they're in your midst. What such souls, men, women, have to go through to become such in the status of spiritual realms. You would fall over and die if you seen what they had to suffer. But you feel entitled to their light. Why the fuck you ain't got no light? Why the fuck is your talents, your gifts not refined as something that blesses, heals, and benefits and illuminates society? You piece of shit. You dog water drinking piece of shit. Ooh, you about to find out. You shouldn't have been bullshitting. Oh, you about to find out. Leo is silent about it. It's a steady light. It's a steady energy. It's to stabilize the expression of the inner child, which suggests the heart so urged value Okay, for those of you new around here, the numerological value of the day of month that you were born. The inner child now holds that against the noise of naysayers, against the noise of those who refuse to bear witness to who they were. Those who refuse to acknowledge greatness in the divine. It's a steady flame that has conviction in who it is, and it doesn't have to prove anything. Because this is witnessing. There is an affidavit through Sagittarius Black Moon Lilith transit and trine to this moon. And it's a witnessing and testimony against some of you and for some of you. Which side are you on? It's some hot water boiling. Is this going to be a whole lot of ass and hot water when the lights go out and when the gifts are retracted? Many are going to realize that access into themselves should be limited. Many will realize the environment that they are in, the people they're connected to. You don't nurture me. You don't water me. You don't support me. I will remove myself. Because my reality, it should reflect who I am, not deny me who I am. Many don't understand what holds us together in this life. You have a neighborhood, a community, a hood, however you want to call it. There's just a few good people in every community. There's a few. There's a few. But those few hold it all together. I will tell you what Prophet Muhammad said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he said when Allah decides to give justice upon a people, I don't like to use that word punishment necessarily because it's not necessarily the way it's been held in sentiment, but when Allah decides to hold justice on the people, He doesn't do so by directly holding justice to every individual. He does so by removing the prophets, the messengers, and saints. Understand that? That's how. Do you know the collateral damage? The doom, the fucked upness, the oh shit, you done did it now type energy that comes behind losing your people of light in a community, in a family, in a relationship. The value of such persons, one person whose light is refined, one person whose gifts are refined in matriarchal source, light in matriarchal source, consistent with Leo, which Leo is the embodiment of the concept of Cancer. Understand that, the matriarchal mother, the source. To lose that, you lose connection to life itself. It will be as if that person left and sucked every molecule of life and oxygen out of the air, and you will be gasping for life and air. You will be gasping. You will be gasping. Because what you thought you knew, you don't know, nigga. But you're about to find out. Don't take people for granted. Honor your people of light. Cherish them. Protect them. Defend them. Learn from them. Push the light outward because the world needs it. But oh, you're too dignified. Full of jealousy and envy, hatred, disgust, because it's not you. I don't think we understand what holds a community up. What happens if Big Mama ain't in the hood, nigga? Everybody gonna shoot and kill each other. Everybody gonna overdose on drugs. Everybody gonna fall into depression. The morale is gonna go down. Yeah, you wanna see a hood fall apart? Remove Big Mama, nigga. Every hood got a Big Mama on the corner, sitting on that milk crate with slips on, a long ass cigarette, but she command the whole shit. Matriarchal source, nigga. She the source of love, the source of compassion, the source of insight and wisdom, sensitivity and consideration. The codes of civilization that runs through your blood when she look at you, nigga. That's why you hide that blunt when she looking at you. That's why you hide that bottle. That's why you pull your pants up when you walk past her. Yeah. Oh, you acting like you don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about, huh? Oh, okay. You take a Big Mama out the community falls down, it is doomed. One big homie who got sense in a community where there's gangs prevalent, and you see a bunch of shootouts, a bunch of violence, indecent delivery of drug sales. The community has no respect for women or elders. They do their business with women and elders looking and watching. Ruthlessness and sensitivity. That don't reflect on the youth in them gangs. It reflect on the big homies of the gang. One righteous big homie will protect the community through those youth, not exploit it. Y'all don't understand the significance of one, do you? One. I didn't say two, nigga. I said one. Do you understand the significance of one person with light? One person. What if your family loses that light worker? What if a marriage loses the light worker? What if a community loses the light worker? What if a generation loses the light workers? I don't think you understand what I'm saying here. Alright, I'ma chill, yeah. I think you get the message. Straighten up. Get it together. If you've been taking shit for granted, let this be your wake-up call. Let this be your sign to get it together. Let's understand what real value goes at and who the fuck it should be assigned to. Fuck your favorite rapper, nigga. Fuck your favorite rapper. Fuck your cute outfit. All of that. Focus on something real. This full moon Leo is not a game. It's not a joke. When somebody finds and clarifies their worth, their value in spirit, oh, you in trouble if you've been benefiting from their blindness, if you've been benefiting from this low self-esteem, if you've been benefiting from the lack of insight into their own value, you are in trouble once they wake up. Because instantly your foot gonna turn ashy, your lips gonna turn ashy, and you gonna wish you wouldn't.